Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Akeem Raji, aka Raji The Realtor here. And today I'm in a different location. I'm actually in my office today, getting some work done, following up on some clients, consultations. But it just hit me today, and I wanted to talk to y'all about my transition from the music industry into real estate. Um, Now, while I was doing the music, I was an independent artist. My stage name was BlackDove, and I was also working corporate at the same time. Now, the reason why it's been on my heart to talk about this is because there's a lot of people chasing the dream to pursue music, to be the next big sensation out there, whether you're trying to be a rapper, singer, whatever you're trying to do. Um, and I wanted to talk about my experiences. Um, I got a lot of traction, but it also took a lot of investment, time, and money. I'm gonna tell you right now, straight flat. I spent a minimum, no less than 50,000 on my career, probably closer to 100,000. That comes with music videos, features, traveling, doing shows, outfits, studio time, you name it, man. It was a lot of money. And at the time, I was focused. I was like, this is going to happen. You know, I talk about in the previous video of mine of how I went from getting features from Fat Joe. I had the game. I went to New York at a pop-up shop to do some networking with Dipset. I opened up for Jadakiss. Went out to LA. I was everywhere. But the thing about it, I was spending a lot of money. But the issue was, I wasn't, how can I say this? The money I was spending didn't make up for how much I was taking in. I was spending more than what I was making. A lot of people, some of you may know, some of you don't know, but I'm gonna put it out there just in case for those who need an education lesson. With music, you probably won't see money until you actually get a big name for yourself, gain big enough traction to where you can gain a following or fans who are believing into your brand and want to buy into your brand. And even if you make it, you know, you're not really making money off of streams like that anymore. The game is different. A lot of the money is made off of doing shows and touring and merchandising. So that's why you want to build that cult following. So in my pursuit of music, it was fun. Don't get me wrong, man. I learned a lot about business. I learned the good side and the bad side. But it also put me in a lot of debt. I'm talking about $1,000 in debt. And I came out of it feeling like, man, I put all this work in. I did this, that, and the third, but I don't have nothing to show for it. That's just how I felt at the time. And I talk about this in my book, Pressure to Pivot, and I go further in. But just to make it short, I looked over the fact that it taught me a lot about business, how to market effectively, how to put out a rollout effectively to make it make sense for you. See, back then, I was just throwing money at anything that could get me a win. But now, I'm strategic. You know what I'm saying? If you're doing music and you're doing a rollout, whether it be a single, an album, an EP, make sure you have a planned budget. Put a number to it. Don't just be throwing money out there like I need a feature, I need to do this, I need to do a video. Be strategic about it. Have a rollout that makes sense. Because a lot of independent artists here, I see them, they just doing performances, they just winging it. Don't do that. You're going to end up losing in the end. A lot of these open mics that you paying to perform, shit, they'll make you pay to open up for artists. I had to pay to open up. You know what I'm saying? But it has to make sense. What are you gaining from it? Is it gonna bring some profit down the line? Because a lot of people just doing it to get attention. They want the clout, they want to be seen, but if you ain't making no money, it's not worth it. You know, for me, I ended up in debt. I ended up broke for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot, man. And finally getting out of that hole, I realized, man, the second time coming around, I know how to manage my money better. I know how to invest better. Make sure you put money into something that's going to gain you some type of profit. Do your research. None of us are experts in what we're getting into, but just know if you're putting some significant amounts of money into a project, do your full extensive research. And that's where I messed up at. I didn't do enough research. I knew the music game as far as like sounds and how to write hits, how to make a song that can be catchy. But as far as like the business side, I knew how to copyright, I knew the publishing, I knew all that. But as far as the business side and, you know, making sure I do a successful rollout and more so just how to market, I had a lot to learn. I didn't know enough about that. And I was just figuring out. You know, as an artist, you need a team, you need PR, you need a manager, you need all those things. I was a one-man show. I was a one-stop shop. I was doing everything myself, which put me into a place where I was extremely drained, extremely tired, and being that I was doing so many things at once, I couldn't fully focus on the marketing plan or focus on how to PR correctly. So things weren't done efficiently. So that's another thing, man. Get yourself a team, people who's gonna be beside you, people who's gonna help you out. You know what I mean? But yeah, music was my end all be all at one point. I still love it. You know, I still write. I still indulge a little bit, but this is for me to tell y'all, whoever's chasing music out there, and it's a situation to where it's just not leading you nowhere, my advice to you is to seek an alternative. And I'm not saying to give up on music altogether, but there's a lot of things you can do. You can write songs for movies. You can write jingles. You can look into writing for other artists. You can look into making a production company. You can look into even building your own studio and charging artists to record, especially if you got that money or that budget to put into your own music. Because remember, what I learned a long time ago, to effectively push one single and to make it a hit and to make it to go everywhere, you need a minimum of $200,000. And I don't know a lot of people who just got $200,000 to sit anywhere. And even if you sign to a label, they give you that advance. That is not money that's free. It's a loan. It's like going to the bank. So it's things you gotta look at, man. And the game's different. Streaming ain't paying like that. TikTok don't pay. Spotify, Apple, they don't pay like that. So you really gotta consider, is it worth the investment? You know? And I'm not gonna say it's a mistake on my end. I guess I was in a game that was, I want to say, evolving over and over again. And I got caught up in the mix like that because I had been doing music for a long time. I was doing music since, I would say, high school, when they were still passing out CDs. But as the game evolved, I failed in that aspect of not continuing to educate myself. So not just with music, but anything that you're doing that you're chasing, continue to educate yourself, especially on the business side. So you're not losing out on money, you're not wasting money in your budget effectively, you know? So yeah, man, like, yeah, that's one thing that, you know, some people may not know about me. Yeah, I'm a realtor now, you know, still working in corporate. You see my office here, and I'm now author. But once upon a time, your boy was BlackDove, and I was chasing music, and I got a lot of good songs, if I must say it myself. But I want you to know that it's okay That person that's chasing that music dream, that basketball dream, whatever you're chasing, if it's not yielding you any profit, figure out an alternative. I'm not telling you to give up, but figure out an alternative path that's going to give you that money, give you that profit so you can survive and be able to do what you need to do and maneuver successfully. Because chasing a dream is nothing if you can't even pay your bills and you're thinking about what you're going to eat the next day or the next month or so because you don't have money to buy groceries. That's real. Can't do nothing in this world without money. Money is not everything, but it's a lot. So like I said, I had to effectively figure something out. Luckily, I was working corporate chasing the music because I knew I needed a backup plan. So it wasn't too bad for me, but I think it got bad when it got to a point where I got into so much debt and I had to start paying it back. And it became very overwhelming for me. So it wasn't fun at all, but it was a learning lesson. And it forced me to figure out another avenue, which you see me today selling houses and writing a book to help you guys out to further your career or whatever dreams and goals that you have, and to give you that mindset to think outside the box. So that's why I am an advocate of always focusing on the pivot and knowing when to adjust, when to adapt, no matter what life throws you. All right. More of this will be in my book, Pressure to Pivot, which is out now. The link is in the description, so go ahead and download. The link is also in my bio in the channel. So subscribe, like and subscribe for the algorithm. Once again, it's your boy, King Raji, aka BlackDove. When one door closes, I'll be there to open the next, man. Take it easy, man. Pressure to pivot, pressure to pivot. All this pressure on me.